Hi, this is Derek Regensberger, and welcome to another episode of the Clarinet Connection, your source for gear and product reviews and practice and performance tips for the clarinet. Today's episode is part 5 in 24 tips for better clarinet playing. In today's episode, we're going to talk about tonguing and articulation. And tonguing is one of the things that is one of the most challenging aspects of clarinet playing, especially for intermediate players. In order to advance your playing to the next level, you're really going to have to learn how to articulate cleanly and very quickly. So one of the keys to articulation is the vowel sound that you make, and that will determine what type of tonguing or articulation you will develop with your sound. For example, if you make a ta sound, you're going to get a very short and staccato sounding note. If you make a da sound, you get a much more smoother articulation, a legato tongue. So for example, here's da. And here is ta. So you can really hear a clear difference between those. And there's a couple other, you can use the la sound for even a greater legato. You can vary the vowel sound that you use to create more of a marcato. So instead of this really short staccato, you can make it more of, again, the marcato styling. So there are any number of articulations that you have to play as a clarinetist, and so being comfortable with all of those is really critical. One of the keys is how you're going to actually tongue the mouthpiece and reed. So the key is where you're going to hit the reed with your tongue, and you want to aim for just below the tip of the reed. You do not want to hit the middle of the reed. That's going to result in a very thuddy and muddy sounding articulation. So again, you want to aim for just below the tip of the reed. The key is to hit the reed with about, I would say, a centimeter above the tip of your tongue. You don't want to use the very tip because that will result in kind of too harsh a sound. You want to use just above the tip of your tongue, and you want that to come in contact again with just below the very tip of the reed. Again, you want to avoid the middle part of the reed because that's going to result in kind of a muddy sound. So let's hear what that might sound like. Okay, so let's hear what something might sound like if we use the middle part of our tongue. You can hear it doesn't have a very clean sound to it, but if I use the tip of my tongue, again, about a centimeter maybe above the tip, here's what it sounds like. You can hear it's a much cleaner sound. Many players learn to tongue with what's called anchor tonguing, and anchor tonguing is a crutch. It's a way of positioning your tongue at kind of between your jaw and your lower lip and kind of anchoring it there and then using that to hit the reed. It sounds something like this. And the problem with that is you can't get it short enough for really good staccato, and it sounds, again, kind of muddy. So when you learn to tongue the proper way, you want to kind of hold your tongue against the reed and release it and just really feel the position of your tongue as you release it and then put it back on the reed, something like this. So that's going to allow you to feel how your tongue is engaging and disengaging with the reed. And what you really want to do is minimize the amount of effort and the amount of force that you're applying to the reed. It really doesn't take a lot to play short. One of the big challenges is when you play more loudly, your articulation really shouldn't change. So for example, if I can play something staccato really softly, I don't want to change it when I play loudly. The tendency is to over-exaggerate. And you can hear how harsh that sounds. So you really want to be as light with as minimal tongue movement as possible when you articulate the clarinet. And so this is going to take some practice. So one of the keys is to play scales slowly in staccato and legato and in different articulation patterns, and eventually you'll get used to playing this, playing it in the correct manner. And then you increase the speed. One of the best exercises for learning to play staccato is a book of exercises written by Kell. It's called 17 Staccato Studies. And each of them is different note patterns to help you learn how to play staccato. So they sound something like this. If you're wanting to improve your staccato playing in particular, the Kell study is really a good book to work from.